Good, beautiful morning, my friends. It says 23 minutes before we start, but that's not true. Let me get this reset. Hold on just one moment here. We're about 5 minutes from starting. I don't know why I did that. 5. Boom. There we go. All right, that's more like it. All right, good morning. Good morning, friends. We'll get started in about 5 minutes. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm seeing myself right here online. Yeah, there I am. 23 minutes before we start, but that's sure. And also, FYI, we're about, you guys are hearing me maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds later than the actual broadcast. Okay, so I'm happening about 20 seconds earlier than you guys right now. So we'll wait for some more folks to come in. Looks like there's 36 of you beautiful people here right now. I can get to any questions that you might have before we start, but we'll be starting officially here at 4 o'clock, or I mean in 4 minutes. Give me, okay, audio, video, okay. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you, Rodney. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Drew. Wendy Ace has been with us for a long time. Jeff and Rodney, beautiful faces. Good to see you this morning. It is, what's the temperature? It's so beautiful here today in beautiful sunny Florida. Dustin, I was out on the beach all morning working out and walking and all that good stuff. So it's 71 degrees and breezy on the beach. Very, very beautiful today. Good morning, Adriana and Ron and Paitro and the Soloagua. Greetings from Africa, from Kenya. Nice. Here's Eric. Here's Assassin J, BTB 6011. Beautiful. Good morning, friends. 45 of us in here now. I don't know how many are going to be here today, but we'll see. Saturday mornings, I always think are kind of the best time to do these. They work out really well. Here comes Russ in NYC. Beautiful. Hello, my friend. Rainy and cloudy in Missouri. There's BTB. Yeah, let us know. Everybody, let me know what area of the country you're in from today. Here's Gary. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, John in North Carolina. Beautiful North Carolina. I love it. Oh, that's all right, Wendy. It's recorded. This one will be recorded as well. And someone asked this morning about the boot camps, if those will be recorded. And of course, all of those will be recorded. There's my best man. There's Mike. John, good to see you in Omaha, Nebraska. Pietro is in LA. It's foggy in LA, huh? Good morning, Texan 11. With 4 girls, 4 daughters. My goodness, my friend. Southeast Missouri. There's Drew. Good to see you, buddy. Texan 11's got 9 jobs because he's got to pay for the weddings, right? One day, not for a long time though. MT Laddick, greetings from the SIP. What's the SIP? Mississippi? From the SIP. I just was in Mississippi. Good to see you, Eric, in Alberta. Canmore, Alberta. Jay Bodner in Kansas City. Jay Sommerfeld in Winnipeg. Good morning. 64 of us in here now. There's the Healer, UK, Wiltshire, UK. Oh, I like your name, the Healer. You got to let me know what that's about. Spiritual healing, mental healing, physical healing. What's that about? I'm all about that. All right, we're going to get started here in about 27 seconds. Something like that. Okay, yeah, it's Mississippi, from the SIP. Yeah, we went over, I was in like 7 states in the last few days here. Went to Iowa, went to Illinois, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, a bunch of them. So, all right, friends, we are officially beginning. We're rolling, we're recording, all that good stuff. So here we go. Let's kick it off. It is 11 a.m. on October the 25th. Welcome, my friends. Today, we're going to be talking about easy blues, rhythm, guitar. My name is Eric Andreas, also known as Your Guitar Sage. We are live, if you're watching, at 11 a.m. Central Time on October the 25th. So we're going to dig in today. We're going to have a blast. I've got an outline for you. It's going to be bingo bango. I'm not going to waste your time today. I'm going to be showing you the stuff that you need to know, and then I'm going to be showing you resources to get more stuff. In fact, before I jump in right away here, let me tell you about 2 things. Number one, if you're the kind of person that you're like, hey, I don't want to spend any money, cool. I have a mini course for you that'll cover some of the stuff that we've talked about today, has PDFs and that sort of thing. You'll find that in the description of the YouTube video. Okay, you're not going to find that on our landing page, but what you will see there is this next thing here. Okay, so first off, the mini course is going to talk about the 12-bar blues chord progression, which I'm going to cover with you today, and also it covers the boogie-woogie lick, which I'll be also covering with you today. Some additional things that I'll be covering with you today is changing keys and also talking about the feel of a song, whether it's a shuffle or a straight rhythm, okay? And then we're going to talk about minor blues today a little bit, and then I'm going to get your questions. So we're going to dig in, but today this is rudimentary. No one's going to get left behind. You're going to understand this stuff when we're done, and like I said, the mini course will help you because it's going to be reiterating some of the stuff that we talked about today. I've got 10 bazillion videos, give or take a bazillion, here on YouTube. So blues, search Your GuitarSage Blues if you're the kind of person that you're like, I don't want to spend any money. If you're the kind of person that you're like, man, I really like everything step by step. I like all the PDFs. I like there to be a system. That's how I am. I spend money on things if it saves me time because time is money and I want to get stuff done. So that's why I create courses, right? And so today, let me tell you about this real quick before we begin. For $97, you're going to literally get 6 hours of my time, real time, like this, in a group setting, small group setting, one-on-ones. You'll be meeting with other folks in the group. It's amazing. If you've been in one of my boot camps before, please put this in the comments and let everybody know what that's about, okay? Because it's really, really cool. You're going to learn a ton. Not only do you get that for the $97, that's over 4 weeks that we do this. We meet every Saturday at around this time. You're also going to get 3 of my best-selling blues courses. Number 1, my specific blues rhythm course that I created that's basically Blues with the Masters, where we study 20 of the most iconic blues songs of all time, and we break all the pieces down. We say, okay, this is why this song is different, but this is a classic song, and we actually learn the licks and we learn the theory from those specific songs, and it is an absolute amazing piece of work, okay? That is one course that you get, and then you get 2 courses from my good friend Corey Congilio, which if you haven't seen him, he's a great teacher, he's a great player, great blues player, and you're going to get both of those as well. Those courses alone run $220 just for those courses alone. Forget about the boot camp. So the boot camp, you know, discounted, say $100, right? $97 is what I normally charge for that. So essentially you're getting a minimum. Oh, sorry, I'm throwing in something else too. I'm throwing in the Visual Jam Tracks 1, which I'm going to show you some visual jam tracks today because we're going to be using them. Anyhow, all this stacks up to be well over $300 worth of goodies. You get them for 97 bucks, okay? If you've been in one of my boot camps before, or if you're in UGS Pro, you get another 10 bucks off, so it's 87 bucks. The reason that I'm doing this is I know times are tough for folks, and I want to make this as accessible as possible while at the same time keeping these lights on, like literally keeping the lights on. So I want to make things easy for you guys, and I've done that with these courses. So not only will you have the courses at your disposal forever, but you'll also have the boot camp forever and recorded and everything else. And I'll be walking you through everything. So today, I'm not giving you any PDFs because I'm giving you the free course that you can find in the description of the video at YouTube, okay? Not on the landing page, but at YouTube. All right, and you can find that on the landing page. You can actually bump over to YouTube if you desire that. If you're in UGS Pro already, you don't need it because you have that information. But if you're new here and you'd like some utensils, if you will, then yeah, that's what we got. Okay, so I'm not going to get to any questions yet, so please hold off on any questions. It looks like there's about 100 of us in here right now, and so let's get started with this. Beautiful on this beautiful morning, learning easy blues rhythm guitar. Okay, all right. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to show you what's called the 12-bar blues. This is the 12-bar blues chord progression here, okay? This is the basis of all blues. If you don't know this, you need to know this, okay? When we're talking about the 12-bar blues, we're talking about, well, first off, what's a bar? A bar is a measure of music. 1, 2, 3, 4, you know? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just, it basically represents 4 beats. If it's a song that's in 6, it would represent 6 beats. But usually, most songs are in common time, or 4, and so that's what we got. Okay, so you can see right here at the top it says 12-bar blues, and if you add up the 3 rows, right, then we have, and 4 chords are represented for each, we get 12 chords represented, or 12 bars. That's why they call it the 12-bar blues. Now, 99% of all blues music is based off of this, okay? Now, I said 99%. That's because there's this 1% that's not quite like, not exactly this, okay? And also, if you notice, and oh, by the way, I am looking at the chat right now, so if you have any problems with anything, like you're not seeing me or my sound goes out or something, please let me know, okay? Because we have no other way of communicating. Just let me know in the chat there, okay? All right, so you see that, 12 bars of blues. You see it says in 4, right? That means that the song, that this is in 4 or 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What it doesn't tell us is it doesn't tell us the tempo. So it could be this, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Or it could be 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You know, it could be a straight rhythm. That's straight 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And or it could be a shuffle. Like skipping down the street, right? I don't know what the heck that was. So anyhow, every chord that you see here could be represented in many, many different ways. So I could play an A7 like that, or an A7 like this, or an A7 here, or here, or here, or here. I could play A7s all over the place, right? Or something that represents the A7. In this case, a boogie-woogie, like I'm going to be showing you, you know? Yeah, Tombstone Shadow PDX says, the blues are the kindergarten of music. It's incredibly simple. Yes. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Oh, no. Did I just remove him from the broadcast? If I did not mean to do that, my friend. No, what I meant to do is add you to the broadcast. Shoot. Hope I didn't do that. Oh no, really, it's on the screen. Okay, all right, sorry, I thought I messed something up. I'm not trying to remove you. No, okay, so, yeah. So the blues are the kindergarten of music. It's incredibly simple. It is the basics of blues, but when you're talking about more advanced blues, you can get deeper and deeper and deeper with it. You can go a long way with blues, okay? So yes, to just get in the entry level, which is what we're talking about today, super easy. Anybody can do it. And it's super fun and it sounds amazing and everybody's gonna listen to you and think that you know a whole lot about the guitar. The difference between someone knowing a little bit about blues and someone knowing a bit about blues is the work is very expansive, like what you would have to learn, but the sound is not crazy different, okay? And so, and that has to do with the chords and it has to do with soloing, but we're not going to get into all that right now, okay? We're just going to cover the basics, so yes. Okay, so now, we're going to just pick a tempo here, and it's going to be, you know, we're going to pick a slow tempo, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, so you can hear this. Now notice that right here it says A7 or D7. That's because, again, the 12-bar blues is 12 bars of music, but we have variations of this, okay? Dear God, if we didn't, it would get really boring. So we have this A7, or we could go to a D7 here. For the purposes of me teaching you today, we're just going to stay on the A7 because I think our jam track is just staying on A7 if I remember, okay? So you have 4 bars or 4 measures of A7. I'm going to play this in a minute so you guys can hear it, okay? 4 bars of that. And then you have 2 bars of D7, 2 bars of A7, and then you have what's called the turnaround, this part at the end here. E7, D7, A7, A7. Or you can go to the E7 again. We will be going to the E7 because it really wants to pull there, okay? Now, let me make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, right, so now, if we were to play this with just the chords, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, D7, 5, 7, 4, 6, 2, 3, back to A7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, here's our E7, 1, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the basic idea there. The way I was counting was like the beginning of each measure, you can actually name the measure. It's helpful, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, if you were getting confused there. Or we could just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now again, we can just do a shuffle rhythm, which you hear a lot in blues, okay? Shuffle rhythm is going to be, you know, where we're got this vibe going on, bop, 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 and straight is when we're bop, 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 bop. Each strike of the strings is equidistant apart, whereas a shuffle has this kind of skip. It's like you're skipping, right? It's like a triplet feel. So it's like bop, 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 bop. You're still going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Those are the 2 different feels that are very prevalent in blues music, straight and shuffle, okay? So we could do either with this. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to our PDF here. Okay, so again, if you want this PDF, in the description of the video on YouTube, I'm giving you access to a free blues rhythm mini course that will have this PDF, and it'll also have a PDF on the boogie-woogie riff that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Okay, so now, if we took this and say we throw that D7 in there, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then D7, A7. Here's our turnaround. E7, D7. Okay, now we don't have to go back to that E7. Again, we could stay on the A7. Now, here's the deal. For those of you that are already freaking out where you're like, I can't play that fast. You don't have to play that fast. You play what it is that you want to play. You're a musician. You are an artist, okay? And so you get to do what you want to do. If you want to do it slow, VJ Connor, I'm going to show you my fingers here in just a minute. Right now we're talking about the 12-bar blues. I promise you, my friend, I will definitely show you my fingers here and what I'm doing, okay? So right now we're just talking about the 12-bar blues progression because you got to understand this. If you don't understand this, and you will in time, you don't have to memorize this, okay? You're just going to feel it in time, right? I mean, can't you feel this, right? You've heard it a million times. Listen, here's the turnaround. Okay, you've heard that a million times. Tush by ZZ Top. Green Onions by Booker T. What, I don't even know off the top of my head, right? I mean, Pride and Joy. A million of them. I mean, I teach 20 of them in the course that you guys would get if you join the boot camp, okay? I teach 20 classic songs like this, okay? Including those 2 songs and a slew more. Give me one reason, right? It's a 12-bar blues. 12-bar blues, except they don't go to the last chord at the end. They just stay right on it, right? So it depends on how much action you want. Booker T and the MGs, thank you. I got a lot of stuff running through my head right now, so, you know, I apologize if I don't remember every little thing. But thank you for that, Eric. All right, so it depends on how busy you want this 12-bar blues progression, okay? You make it as busy as you would like. You make it as fast as you would like. You put it in whatever key, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. You use whatever flavor chords you want. In this case here, we're using 7th chords, but I mean any version of those chords, right? If I, whoa. Oh. Right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so what was I going to say here? I lost track with the timpani roll there. Yeah, okay, so, but basically, you know, the 12-bar blues chord progression is everything's going to be in that, any tempo that you want, shuffle or straight feel, any key that you want, and then you can change up the chords. If you change them up too much, then we're kind of going to get outside of that 12-bar blues chord progression. There's a million 12-bar progressions. All you need is 12 measures of music. You can have an infinite number of 12-bar progressions. But the 12-bar blues progression is this one that I'm showing you here, okay? All right, different keys. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Okay, first off, let's get to any questions about this. So what I want to do is let me talk about one other thing here, and then you'll get your questions answered. Okay, so we could do the same thing. Now, I want you to look at that progression there and note what I'm going to do is instead of A7, D7, and E7, I'm going to play minor chords for that because I told you I would show you how to do this in a minor key as well. So instead of a 7, you just put a minus there in your mind, and you can create a 12-bar blues minor chord progression, and they sound amazing too. So if I just go, there's the D7, but I'm making it minor. D. Here's our E. Okay, that's a more serious tone there that you're hearing, right? So again, we can do so much with this. We can do so much with this 12-bar blues chord progression, okay? And if that sounded like what I was playing, if it sounded like The Thrill Is Gone, you would be correct that The Thrill Is Gone starts off very much like that, but then he changes the chords up. Okay, so there is a different turnaround on that one. Okay, so before we proceed, before we go any further, I want to make sure that we're not leaving anybody behind. So let me know, do you have any questions specifically about the 12-bar blues chord progression? Okay, that's the question that I want you guys to address right now. No other question. I won't answer any other questions right now. I mean, I will. But let's try to stick to the subject here because I want to keep this moving along for you guys because you got fun stuff you want to do today. I personally am going to a petting zoo. I'm really excited about this. I love little animals. I love big animals. I think they're just so cool. And so we're going to a little harvest festival today, and there's going to be goats and I don't know what else is going to be there. I love it. Samuel Jenkins is saying, is this part of UGS Pro? Yes. If you're in UGS Pro, you have all this. Okay? All of it. All right. Waiting for any questions here. I'm also scanning. I love the stiffest source saying, I love the visual jam tracks. They're a big help. Good. Thank you. Thank you, John. Learned a lot from Eric. His courses are really great. Thank you. Boot camps are great learning resource for every level of player. Thank you, my friend. Beautiful. Thank you, John. Kind words. All right, and I'll be looking for any questions here, and then we're going to be no questions. Sounds good. Drew's saying it's a standard 1-4-5 chord progression. It is, yes. And he also mentioned Van Morrison's Remembering Now. You know, I probably know that song. I'd have to hear it. It's like some of my favorite bands, like the Beatles and Pink Floyd and Radiohead. I mean, half the tunes I don't even know the names to, but I could play the tunes. I mean, or they're in my head so permanently, but sometimes I just don't even know the names. So once I hear a song, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that song. I love that song. Okay, doesn't look like there's any question. Is the boot camp included in UGS Pro? No, it's not. But if you are a UGS Pro member, you don't want to make these bigger. Can you guys even read these? Look at that. That's T90. Let's make that bigger. How about that? There we go. Okay. No, it is not. No, Samuel Jenkins, it's not part of UGS Pro. That is incorrect, my friend. Nope. Now, some of the teachings are, you know what I mean? Like if I'm teaching you the boogie-woogie or 12-bar blues, like that is. But no, the 3 courses are not. And the boot camp is just a live thing that you would have to sign up for to get that. But again, like I say, what I'm doing is I'm making this, I'm giving you over $200, like I think it's $220 worth of courses and jam tracks and everything else, plus the 4 to 6 hours of my live time over 4 weeks. If you've been in one of these boot camps before, please let everybody know what a game changer they are, okay? There's 110 of us in here. We're gonna keep rolling on this. Jay is saying, why the colored dots on your guitar neck? Thank you so much for asking, Jay. Because I was teaching a boot camp here pretty recently, and it was on blues lead guitar. And so what I do is I show folks that, you know, if you've got a jam track happening, you know, where you got like, that you can just stick to these notes here, or just these notes here, or just these notes here, or just these notes here. So for instance, if I did like a, something like that, you know what I mean? It's just basically showing you, this is minimalistic blues. So this is something that I teach inside of UGS Pro. I also have a mini course on it that you can get for free. I have the whole course is separate if you want that. I've got a boot camp on it. It's really, really cool stuff, okay? And knowing that, I mean, I played blues for decades and didn't really put some of this stuff together. It's like the cage system. The cage system, you know, I remember back in the day on YouTube when I first started seeing other instructors saying the cage system, oh, cage system, cage system. I was like, what's the cage system? I don't even know what that is. I'm a guitar instructor. I should know what that is. It was never taught to me. Never read it in a book, and but yet I knew it. Because intuitively, I'm like, oh, well, that's, yeah, it's just 5 different ways to play the major chords all over the neck, yeah. I mean, I never even thought 5 ways. I'm just like, oh, yeah, of course, those are, yeah, do that all the time. But then, you know, to put it together as the cage system is something else. And then once you start studying stuff and you're able to go, okay, this is this concept, let's really focus on this. Oh, it's a game changer. And like with minimalistic blues, yeah, I came across those forms all the time and knew exactly, you know, that they were there, but like when you break it down like I do in the minimalistic blues course, oh, it's a game changer, absolute game changer, okay? Okay, that's why I did that. Okay, will the boot camp be recorded so they can be viewed later if you miss a session? Yes, absolutely, homie, absolutely. All right. Earlier, you were doing a blues in F. I didn't get the progression. Can you do it again if possible? Yeah, actually, let me show you this really quickly because, again, if you know the 12-bar blues, okay, if you understand this structure, and then what I'm about to show you here, friends, you can play this in any key, so might as well do this now. Okay, I'm jumping ahead. I was going to show you the boogie-woogie lick, but it makes more sense to do changing keys right now. Let's do this. Okay, so what I was playing is I was playing an F major, a B flat, and a C major. Using the cage system, I can play these chords anywhere, you know. Okay, so let me show you this. Pay attention, because this is really cool stuff. If you don't know this, even though it's simple, my God, people skip over simple stuff all the time. Think about it, right? They do it in life, they do it with guitar, they do it in all sorts of things. They skip over the simple stuff. Ah, that's simple, I want the complicated stuff. They skip over the foundational stuff and their house comes tumbling down because they don't have the foundation taken care of. You've got to get the foundation taken care of. And anybody who knows anything about anything, I will say especially about guitar, but no, it's anything. The foundation is the most important part. Ask a builder, ask anybody who's good at any sport or any martial art or guitar or anything else. You got to know the basics. If you don't, you just got nothing to build upon. All right? So even though this is basic, check this out because this is super important. Okay, now some of this you can skip over, but for those of you that need need the relationship to understand this, our major scale goes like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, right? And so we count each note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, according to their step, the scale step. Well, when we talk about a 1, 4, 5 chord progression, we're talking about the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. 1, 4, 5. And so if we have that bass note and this bass note and this bass note, and we base our chords off of that, then we can do this in any key. If I was in the key of G, my major scale looks the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Here's our 1. Here's our 2, our 3, our 4. Here's our 5. So 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. And we can base our chords off of that. Right? If we were in the key of F, like we were just now for the Tracy Chapman tune, we have 1, 4, 5. It's the same thing every single time. The 1 is here, the 4 is right underneath it, right? This works if you base the 1 chord off the 6th string or the 5th string. Works the same. I'll show you that in a minute. So here's our 1, here's our 4, and a whole step up is a 5. So we base our whole song off that. Drew, you are correct, except that B should be a B flat, right? So now, that's what I was just commenting on right here. So Drew is correct, except that B is a B flat, right? Yeah. Okay, so now if I want to do this in, say like in the key of C major, I do the same thing. So friends, I told you that when we're done with this thing, you'd be able to play blues in major or minor. And I said you'd be able to do it with a swing feel and a shuffle feel. And I told you I'd give you some boogie-woogie licks, and we're going to be doing that in a minute too, okay? So when you get done with this, you literally will be able to sit in any jam, in any key, in any feel, and be able to play and hang there with people if you do these few things I'm telling you, okay? So now, if you're at a jam now and the guys are like, all right, let's do some blues in C, okay? And it's going to be a straight feel, okay? Straight feel, Eric said, was done. 3, 4, 1, 2, right? It's not a swing, it's a straight feel. Just all even strums. Okay, and they said in the key of C, Eric said, okay, all right, here we go. And so, well, what's my 1, 4, 5? Well, this is the 1, because that's a C, okay? That's a C. If you don't know the names of the notes going up, I teach that in a lot of my fundamental courses that are free. You can find them all at YourGuitarSage.com. Or go to YourGuitarSage.com/30 and I'll walk you through it, okay? So here's a 1, and again, we play our scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Or we just know that the 1 is here, because it's a C, and we know that the 4 is right underneath it, and we know that the 5 is a whole step above that. A whole step is the distance between 2 frets, not 1. 1 would be a half step, and 2 halves would make a whole, so that would be our 5 right there. So 1, 4, 5. You can do this all over the place for any key. Doesn't matter. This is the only thing you got to do. So and then you base your chords off of that. We got some bar chords, okay? If you don't know how to play bar chords, I got videos for that. I got courses for that. So there's our we're just doing this in the key of C now. Right? Now, this is all based off of the 6th string, what I've been showing you, but we can do the same thing off the 5th string. So let's say we wanted to play it in the key of D. Here's a D, and I could play the same thing. I could do, something like a okay. Now, here's a little trick. If you know where the octaves are on the guitar, like this, like my Sharona, right? Then these are octaves of each other, down 2 strings, up 2 frets, and you get the octave, right? Or if you're up here and you want to know what the octave is, you go down 2 and up 2. So that's what I call springboards. I got videos on YouTube about that. You should write that down if you don't know what that is. Springboards are really important for understanding how to manipulate all over the neck. Guitar players do not memorize every note on the fretboard. No one does that. Okay? Because if you were looking like this at the guitar, this fret doesn't look any different than this fret. We use the fret markers, and we use the nut, and we use the bridge, and we use these 2 guys here, and we use these guys right here on the top to navigate the neck all the time. Because if you took any guitar player, I don't care how great they were, I mean, there's some degree of feel, but I'm telling you, every guitar player works off of these landmarks, just like you would anything when you're driving and going home and not thinking, and you're like, yeah, there's that stop sign or whatever. You're just doing this subconsciously. Every guitar player does this, okay? So, But you got to know these springboards, okay? And because that's going to help you navigate the neck very easily. If I want to know where an A is, I can go open A, right? Just by using my springboards immediately. And I'm not like memorizing, oh, those are the notes. I'm like, oh, I know how these things work. You do too. And if you know the springboards, you'll know that, okay? So, what was I? Okay, so D, we can do this off of D. I said the 5th string, we could do the same thing by just playing, right? Or the full chords, which are awkward. But instead of playing these up here, we can go down an octave. Remember, back 2 frets, down 2 strings. I mean, think about it. It's right there in our bar chord when we play it. It's like our first finger and our pinky. Those are octaves of each other. That's why they sound, that's why they work well, because they're just octaves of each other. And so we could use this same principle. So instead of playing 1, 4, 5, we could play 1, 4, 5. Okay, makes sense? Okay, smarty pants, Beth Harper. What happens if you're Jose Feliciano? Thank you so much for challenging me. Absolutely. So, okay, so Jose, he's got to go on feel, right? He 100% has to go on feel. 100%. And that is because he's forced to do that. When we're seeing, so yes, it's not, in that case there, 100% Jose Feliciano is not working on these fret markers. He's just working on feel. But when you're forced to do something like that, you become so intuitive at that particular thing. I know a few blind players, mainly piano players, and they're some of the best piano players ever. And I think that sometimes when it comes to music, if you think about it, I mean, because I do meditation, and the more that you can shut out, you know, you put some earplugs in, you put some eye shades on, you're depriving the senses so that you can go inward. If you're at Disney World or Mardi Gras and you got all the smells and the sounds and the sights and everything, you're not going to be able to meditate. You're not going to be able to go inward because you're distracted by all these things. In the same way, Jose Feliciano, who's blind, doesn't get to see, so that distraction is turned off. So he's going to be more intuitive with feel now. Okay? But for those of us who can see, we're definitively using these things, right? So sometimes I'll challenge myself on this, and I will play in the dark specifically because I'm like, let's just do this. Let's get the feel of the neck better, right? So beautiful. Kirkcheck says, or he has some bump on the top of the fretboard. Yeah, absolutely. You can do stuff like that, you know? Absolutely. In fact, that's something that in the guitar that I want to design. I've designed a few, but one of the things that I want to design is some places where you can actually feel on the neck, because when you're on stage and the lights go out because they're getting ready to do the big explosion of lights or whatever, and you're got to play that beginning riff, and you're like, oh crap, you're looking for a light, you're like, I hope I'm in the right key. I've been there before. Then it's nice to have some little fret. It's such a rare occasion, but I've been there before, to where you don't have lights and now you're trying to feel around and you're screwed unless you're Jose Feliciano, right? Yeah, absolutely. Check out Jeff Healey, a beast. Rest in peace, Jeff Healey. He's blind, but he played like a freak, okay? Can you palm mute the first 3 strings on a Stratocaster? You can. Yeah, you can. Like, you know, talk about like here. Right? volume knob, that's something you got to get used to. I usually will wrap my pinky around it, because if not, when you're doing that, you're turning the guitar down. And so you gotta keep your pinky underneath that. But yeah, so that's palm muting. This is palm muting, what I'm doing here, where I'm, you know, got my hand on the strings a little bit, type of thing. So yeah, absolutely. All right, good. I love the interaction in the chat. And there's 113 of us in here right now, so beautiful. If you can, friends, give this a thumbs up. Thank you, Etsy, that 35 of you have done this already. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with somebody if you would like some extra good love from the universe. All right? Okay. Here we go. Let's get to moving now to boogie-woogie licks. Now, again, I'm not giving you any PDFs today because I'm making that accessible to you for free. If you're in UGS Pro, you have access to this. If you're in any of my blues courses, then you have access to this, right? But if you need the tablature for this, the link's in the description of the video on YouTube, where I'm giving you a mini course that's going to talk about the 12-bar blues, and it's going to talk about boogie-woogie licks. And that's what we're going to be doing now, which work for major blues, not so much for the minor blues, at least this style, what I'm going to be showing you, okay? So if you need those tabs, that's where to get it, and to get the free course there, okay? All right, so let's talk about boogie-woogie licks. So I said to you guys, oh, first off, any questions so far? Okay, let me know. We got time. We're at 11:41. Are there any questions so far about anything that we've talked about? Let's try, if we can, let's keep it to what we're talking about. I mean, if you got another question, just ask me, but I don't want to get off too far on a tangent here. But if you have questions about the 12-bar blues, major or minor, about changing keys, about the 1-4-5, about all that, let me know. That's the foundation. If you don't have that, you're going to have a real difficulty playing blues. It's not just like I got to feel this, right? Drew is saying, hello, Eric. What gauge pick are you using for this? You know, I would say it doesn't matter, because it really doesn't. It matters what gauge is best for you. But this is like I think it's an 88, 0.88. And then I've got a 0.60 here. I haven't been using those as much lately. I'll use that for like lighter strumming, you know, type of thing, or strumming guitar where I'm doing all 6 strings. But like when I'm doing more intricate stuff, I like a thicker pick because they're less forgiving. And so, and that's exactly why I use a thinner pick for hitting all 6 strings, because they're more forgiving. So like a brush with soft bristles if you have long hair. If you have short hair, you don't use, you use a comb, right? Or if you have real short hair, you use a comb. Otherwise, a brush is just like overkill, and you definitely wouldn't use one necessarily with like thin bristles, because it's like you don't need to do that, right? Okay, great question. Gary is saying, does the 12-bar blues follow major, minor changes? So I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, Gary, but you know, the 1-4-5 in a major chord progression are major. Okay? If you're playing a minor blues chord progression, you can use all minor chords. If you're playing a major blues chord progression, you use all major chords, if that makes sense. You can also use the 7th versions of those, so you can use minor 7ths, or in the case of a major blues chord progression, you actually use all dominant 7th chords. So that's not typical for other styles of music, but for blues it is, okay? Great question. Frank is saying, how do you know whether to play 7th chords, major or minor? Does one seem to fit better than another? I like majors or minors over 7th chords. Frank, you are an artist. You are a musician. Get used to it and own it. You are. Say, I am a musician, because you are. If you play music, or if you're interested in music, you are a musician. The continuum goes forever, but there's a start date, and it's the day you pick up an instrument, right? That's the day you become a musician. And anything after that is you just get closer and closer to your goal. So own that you're a musician, and so there is no right or wrong And does one seem to fit better than another? No. It's what do you like? So, like you, I used to not like the sound of seventh chords. And this is much like the way we eat. So when you're a kid, you like applesauce and softer foods and less, you don't like spices and lots of, intricacies. You just like, or complications. You just like one type of food, applesauce, pureed pears, pureed carrots or whatever, right? Because our taste buds are like, everything excites us when we're a kid. So, but as we get older, man, we start like to mix things. We like to throw hot sauces in there, this, that, and the other thing. And music's the same way. And it's not a maturity level. You could say the word mature, but without the judgment of it being mature or not. So some people love those really intense jazz chords. Some people don't. As I get older, I like stuff like that more and more, just like I do the food, right? But in the beginning, I used to not like seventh chords. I just thought they were too weird sounding. They were square sounding to me. I like good old-fashioned minor chords, or major chords, and mainly minor chords is what I like. So does one seem to fit better than another? That's kind of a you question. What do you like? And so, like, if you don't like seventh chords, don't play seventh chords. We played. Give me one reason. These are just major. But if we played seventh chords, right? It's got a different feel. Minor. I shouldn't have played those right after each other, but in the same progression, because really minor is its own thing, So sad. Right? So it's really up to you. What do you like, Okay, Russ is saying, question, over major blues progression, minor or major pentatonic sound good, but over the minor progression, should we stick to minor pentatonic? Yes? Yes. Correct. So, let me show you this. This is part of the visual jam tracks that I talk about. Number one, you're going to have to let me know if you're hearing this in time. Hopefully you're hearing this in time. But this is a visual jam track. I've created thousands of these, all different keys. And you would be getting many, many of these. I think 3 or 4 songs in all the different keys. So multiply that times 12. You're getting like 36 or 48 visual jam tracks. Just full songs, and then I also have like just one. I have 2 chord songs, which is a whole nother, another 48, 50 songs or so, and then 1 chord progressions. You might say, well, why 1 chord progressions? Well, because there's exercises that we do, and ways that we get to know those chord progressions by breaking it down to its individual parts. Okay. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, Eric, I've learned so much from your courses, especially minimalistic blues. Thank you. Saw you recently started playing a PRS. Vela, how do you like it? I love it. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. I was going to play it today, but in fact, it's sitting right here. I had it plugged in, but for this particular thing that I was doing, I liked the specific tone with the Strat just a wee bit better. But I love the Vela. It's beautiful. Plays like a race car. Thanks for asking, my friend. Okay. So this is a visual jam track. So you have jam tracks, and then you have things called visual jam tracks. Well, that's what I call them. And so basically, you can see the chords moving at the same time. So this might be actually a little bit more helpful too. So there's going to be a 4 count, and then you're going to see the chords pass by. This is a 12-bar blues chord progression, similar to the one that I showed you earlier. And so let me show you how this works. Because by the way, For those who are interested in really learning blues rhythm guitar, I told you today we're doing a thing where we're basically, you're getting 3 amazing courses and Visual Jam Pack number 1. All that together is at least $220 worth of product, and you're getting 4 to 6 hours of my time in that boot camp. Which if you've been in the boot camps before, please let folks know. It's so fun. It's so amazing. So you're getting all that for $97. You're getting well over $300 worth, and that's at the discounted prices. Well over $300 worth of goodies for $97 today. Okay, so it's an absolute steal. If you're interested about learning visual, or if you're interested in learning blues rhythm guitar for real, do it. Okay, take advantage of this because we're not going to do it for very long. This is a visual jam track, and this is within you would be getting this one. Okay, why these? Because they're great to play to, whether you're playing lead guitar or rhythm guitar. They're both great. And what I do is I provide these maps for you for notes that you could play over this. And I'll give you an example here. So I'm going to play it through one time, and then I'll play some chords, and then I'll just do a little lead over it, and you can see kind of get an idea for the sound of it and then what they're useful for. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. This is a slow one. So this is measure 2, this is measure 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. Now we're going to the D7, you'll feel it pull. 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now this is very helpful when you're watching the screen and you're playing to these chords. Hopefully it's in time for you guys. Hopefully there's not any lag. 8, 2, 3, here's our turnaround. 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, and finally our 12th measure. 2. Now I can play to this, right? I could go. And I'm watching on the screen so I never get lost. Thanks for the letting me know there's no lag. Here's our turnaround. So now what I could do is I could do this. kind of give you an idea there of these visual jam tracks, right? Super fun to play to. So fun to play to. I mean, I literally could whittle away, and I do. I whittle away at those things just all day long, man. And then when I get bored with one, I put it in a different key. And so with these visual jam tracks that you get in this package, you get, like I said, you get, I think, 3 or 4 different full songs like that, but in all the different keys. So you get different tempos, different feels, different keys, different songs, different chord progressions. And then I break it down to 2 chords. So that's kind of where you get started. And then 1 chord. And so that, you know, just literally playing over 1 chord, like understanding that and learning how to do that is so helpful. And so that's, you know, that's how I learn, and that's why I create products like that, because I'm like, dude, this helped me so much, like being able to just do this thing. So you would get that along with these other bits. I want to get to any questions that you might have, but then the next thing I want to show you really quickly is the boogie-woogie licks, because I showed you everything else. Okay, so we'll get to the boogie-woogie licks, okay? And then, yeah, okay, I've mentioned everything, pretty sure. Okay, here we go. Let me, thank you so much for letting me know. No lags in perfect time. Good, yay. Okay, so Jeff is saying, sometimes you embellish the chords by strumming the lower pitch strings of the chord before playing the chord. Does the embellishment count as one beat of the measure or counted with the chord? I'm not sure what you mean. Does the embellishment count as one beat of the measure or counted with the chord? I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there, Jeff, but here's what I can tell you. The beat is, and the beat goes on, right? And the beat goes on means it just keeps moving. So if you, whether you're playing something or not, the beat is represented. The measure is represented. So if it says A7, it's 4 beats. Whether you're playing something or not, the band is going to be moving to the next measure here in just a second. So, so that means you do anything that you want there. If you want to do a boogie woogie, or if you just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, right? Or you could just you could just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so you do anything that you want in there that you like to do with your ears, and then that's going to tell you what it is. You know, is it good or is it bad? What do you like? Okay, that's a great question though. Okay, so let's do this. Let me show you the boogie woogie lick now, because now again, if you need the tab for this, I'm not providing any, well, I am providing tabs for you today, but not just like, hey, click here, get the tab. It's look in the link that's in the description of the YouTube video and get the PD, basically get the mini course that I'm giving you, okay? And you will see the 12-bar blues progression in that mini course and what I'm about to show you here, which is the boogie woogie lick, okay? Jeff, thank you so much for letting me know that made sense. Okay, excellent. All right, so the boogie woogie lick, super easy. Get your guitar out, okay? Even though this is super easy, there's so much that you can do with these. And in the courses that, in all 3 courses, right? I told you there's one course where I'm showing you 20 classic songs of all times, blues songs, and I show you the different things that they're doing there and thinking, chord progression-wise, riff-wise, all this other stuff. So you learn so much, and it's literally from these most iconic songs ever. So it's like, how can you fail? That you're building a foundation built off of what the masters did, right? And then the 2 courses by my good friend Corey Congilio, great blues player, great instructor, and you're going to get those 2, and he breaks things down. You get a different way, but put it all together, you will be a beast of a blues rhythm player, okay? All right, and so one of the things that both of us talk about in that is the boogie woogie riff, okay? And so super easy, and I'm going to show you how to play this in different keys, but essentially you're just playing strings 5. Now this is in the key of A. you're just playing strings 5 and 4, okay? Now I take my thumb and I rest it on the 6th string, so that if I pick it by mistake, it's just that sound, and you don't actually hear it. And now what I'm doing with the rest of my finger here, my fingertip is playing that 4th string, but notice I get loosey-goosey with it after that. I'm not barring that. What I'm doing is I'm muting. So this part of my finger here is just muting the other strings. This isn't complicated, don't overthink this. 5th string and 4th string, this finger is just kind of sitting up here lazily, muting that 6th string. That's it, okay? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick strings 5 and 4, and we're just gonna do a straight rhythm right now. You're just gonna do that. Now, what's cool about muting that 6th string is that if you hit it by mistake, you just get a slight little click in there, which becomes kind of inaudible with the rest of the chord. And it's totally fine. If I start touching the 4th string now, or sorry, the 3rd string, that's muted also. So now I just get I'm literally strumming 4 strings right now, 5 strings now, and I still only hear what I want to hear. I can even do 6 strings, but I'm only hearing the 5th and 4th strings because I have everything else muted. You'll get that in time, okay? So now, what we want to do is we want to toggle our ring finger to the 4th fret. Don't overcomplicate this, leave everything else the same. The only thing you're going to do is go boop, 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 like that. So like this. Let's slow it down. Your speed is your speed. There's no right or wrong. There's just where you want to go and where you are today. True with everything in life, okay? So that's a boogie-woogie riff. Now you say, well, that doesn't sound like anything. Does it not? Because if we add a shuffle to it, or if you just do straight, that's fine. But if I add a shuffle to it, and if I wanted to get real fancy, I could add my pinky. Okay, do that now. I'm joking. So it's really not complicated. I just played it a little faster and I'm throwing in some other things. Again, we're on a continuum, so we have the real simple stuff. We're building the foundation. It's where every single guitar player in the history have ever started. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eddie Van Halen, B.B. King, whoever your guitar hero is, they started at the very beginning. They got the basics. And they got the basics down really, 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 really good. And they just enjoyed it. They had fun. They were never like, oh, what's the next day about? I got to get to the next day. I got to be this. Oh, I suck. No. Yeah, they had little thoughts like that, but they had this like passion. It was just fun to do. Have fun when you're playing music, and it will just unfold for you, okay? Because you'll be like, I got that down now. Now I need to do this. And you just start stacking, and all of a sudden you have this beautiful thing built, okay? All right, so that's the boogie-woogie riff. Now let me show you. Now this is a little bit more difficult, but you could take this and put it in any key. So I did it in an open position, right? You could do it in a, you know. We could do it in G, we could do it in any key, but an easier version is to just do this right here, is to just go. Now this is kind of a reach, kind of a higher reach, so if you want, you could move it up to a key that's easier, but like say we're doing this in the key of C. is our 1 chord. Then go down to the 4 chord. Back to the 1 chord. Then our 5 chord, 4 chord. Okay. Now you may go, well, that's simple. Well, yeah. Again, remember what one of our students said earlier? Said, yeah, it's simple. Blues is the simplest. It's the kindergarten, right, of music. It is in the beginning, but if you want to get complicated, you know, if you want to be play all these different versions. You can make it more complicated by adding, you know, turnarounds, which, by the way, are in all those 3 courses where you learn turnarounds as well. Turnarounds make it really sound like, oh, this is badass, right? So turnarounds, you gotta play some turnarounds in there too, because what that does is it lets the whole band know and the listeners know, hey, we're turning the chord progression around. We're gonna start back at the top again. We're gonna have a blast here. Here we go. You know, get ready for your solo, or get ready to change it up or something. So turnarounds, the whole 9 yards. So I'm gonna get to your questions here in just 1 second, right? Please post a full lesson on the boogie-woogie improv that you did. Well, that's the thing, Gary, it's improv. So I don't even know what I did just now, right? I have some basic ideas, and this is the kind of players that I'm building, right? Is players that have all these tools at their disposal. So Gary, instead of like, here's the lesson on the improv, what basically to get you in the game is learn the boogie-woogie, learn some of these chords, learn the 12-bar blues progression, and then you literally make it up as you go. So you say, man, I want to have a little walk up here, or I want to have a turnaround here, or actually I want to play this chord up here now, or I just want to play a boogie-woogie lick, or I want to play a walking bass line. Oh, sorry. I had one another one just the other day, right? That was it. I never play it. That's more of like a walking bass line, but there's so many different things you can do. Right, that's from Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. So what happens, Gary, is that they're kind of like words, right? Like I didn't plan to say it's kind of like words. I didn't plan on saying that today, but you learn the words and you learn phrases, and then when it makes sense, you say whatever it is that you want to say. And so if you learn the boogie-woogie licks, if you learn the chord progressions, the 12-bar blues chord progression, you learn some turnarounds, you learn some walk-ups and what have you. And not all at once, just slow as she goes, you know. And then just kind of leaning in that direction, all of a sudden you start being able to play this stuff in any key and be able to play all these different riffs and what have you, okay? But that being said, Gary, with that being said, I do have, if you search YourGuitarSage Blues or YourGuitarSage Boogie-Woogie, you're going to find some of that stuff on YouTube, okay? Not like having the courses, obviously, but yeah. The additions are almost limitless. Add slides, adds harmonics, double stops, pull-offs, bends, all sorts of stuff, right? Ballad of John and Yoko. Yeah, I believe that one is a 12-bar blues as well. Okay, so I'm going to get to your questions here in just a minute, but let me mention this real quick. For those of you who have just joined us just recently, there's 95 of us still in here, so thank you so much for those who have stayed with me this long today. So for those of you who are just coming around, we're near the end of the lesson. I'm going to be taking questions now, but we went over the 12-bar blues progression in major and minor. We learned how to play it in any key to identify the 1-4-5 in any key. We learned the boogie-woogie licks. We learned straight versus a shuffle feel. And that's a good foundation for us to start with. Any more than that, we really need to marinate in that foundation before we move on any further, okay? But if you are serious, and by the way, if you need the PDFs for this, the link is in the description of the video. I'm saying this for folks who just joined us, guys. I know that for those of you that have been with me, that's the third time you've heard it. Description of the video on YouTube. So if you're on the landing page on my website, you can click on the YouTube logo. It'll bring you to the YouTube video. Look in the description. You'll see the link. Click on that. That will get you the mini course that has the boogie-woogie lick tablature, okay, and the 12-bar blues chord progression. So the boogie-woogie lick for Gary, okay, and that's okay. That's that. And then also, last time I mentioned it here, probably not the last time, but probably at this length. We're doing a special today. It's the boot camp. Normally what we do is we just do a boot camp. It's $97. I give you a few PDFs, but the bulk of the learning is in 4 weeks of meeting with me, meeting with the rest of the class, doing one-on-ones, small group, that sort of thing. We do these breakout rooms. It's super intense. It's super amazing. And you'll learn so much, especially from, well, you'll be learning from me, but you'll be learning from your peers as well, because everybody has different things to bring, and synergistically it makes it a really magical experience. If you've never done one of these at like a Tony Robbins event or a Zoom call or something, it's magical, okay? So there's that. That's normally what we do, but when I said, man, times are tough for folks right now, let's pack this full of yummy stuff for them at a price that is unbelievable, and at the same time, though, I can keep the lights on, all right? Because I have to, obviously, I got to keep the lights on. So what I said was, I'm just going to give them all of my blues rhythm courses. And so what you're going to get is you're going to get my blues rhythm course where you're studying 20 of the most classic blues songs of all times. Okay, and if you want more information on that, there's a link in the description of the video, and if you're on the landing page already, you'll see that, okay? So there's that, and then I'm giving you 2 courses as well by my good friend Corey Congilio, a great blues player and a great instructor as well, and he's going to teach you yet some other stuff, okay? We're going to teach you turnarounds, there's tablature included, there's PDFs included, 100% money-back guarantee, 60-day money-back guarantee. You can't mess up. It's $97, and you get over $320 worth of courses, live material, and everything. So if you're serious about blues, rhythm guitar, that's what you want to do, okay? All right, let's get to some questions here. Is the tone clean into the amp, or are you using effects? So this is just amp tone right there. So a little bit of grit, right? A little bit of overdrive. But if I wanted to make it nice and clean, but if I dig in, it's got a little bit of bite, especially with the chords, right? And then I like to dirty it up just a little bit, just like Stevie. I like to use the Green Screamer. This guy right here. You guys have seen this one, right? This is just like probably the most classic pedal of all times. It's a Tube Screamer. It's the OD9 Overdrive. It's the Maxon. It's the Ibanez. There's many different versions of it. And so that, here's the regular sound without it. Here it's with. Love that pedal. Yeah, Corey's courses are really good too. They absolutely are. Great instructor, great player. All right, any questions? Any last questions? Otherwise, I think you guys are set. You know what to do. If you're serious about learning some blues rhythm guitar, we've got a few seats open yet for the boot camp, and we got less than a week to sign up for that. So the first one's going to start this Saturday, a week from today, and I believe it's at 11 a.m. as well. Let me see if I have it in here. Yeah, Blues Rhythm Guitar Boot Camp at 11 a.m. this Saturday, November the 1st, okay? If you're serious about it, get signed up so you don't get left behind. All right, if I don't see any other questions here. Great explanations. Thank you so much, Frank. I appreciate that, my friend. Gary said, gotcha, thank you. I'll mess around with it, slowing it down. It's great advice. Yeah, absolutely, everything, always slowing it down. Slow it down, break it down. I have a video for that inside of UGS Pro, understanding, just understanding that, and also looping and chunking. There's a few different psychological things that you can do to really make things easier, but slowing it down is 100%. Are the boot camps 1 hour? Originally I had them 1 hour, but honestly they've been going about an hour and a half because we're having such a great time in the boot camps when we do these that we just keep going, and we're doing these breakout rooms, and it's just so fun that we usually just keep going. So, but yeah, usually not more than an hour and a half. That's when, when folks start getting appointments and stuff like that. And I like to keep everybody kind of on the same page. So I don't want to leave anybody behind. So they've been now recently about an hour and a half. I promise an hour, but I don't think I've ever done one for an hour. They're always hour 15, hour 20, hour and a half, something like that. Okay. Ken Soli, you're welcome, my buddy. Thank you so much. All right. Any last questions? Because I think we're out of here. I'm going to go to a petting zoo with my boy. I'll wait for 1 second here yet. See if there's any last questions, because you guys are 20 seconds behind me, and I just want to make sure. Once I start seeing some sign-offs and people saying, see you, Eric, thank you, then we'll head on out. Great turnout today, by the way, guys. Fantastic. 87 of you still here. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Gene. Thank you for all the likes, too. For those that liked, thank you so much. John, rock on, brother. Thank you, my buddy. John's been in our boot camps. He's been in our boot camps. We've had a great time. Kirk Check, 78. Beautiful. Thank you, Eric. You're so welcome. Greg, thank you. Good warm-up for the boot camp. You're welcome, buddy. Thank you. Gene, cheers. Gary, thanks again. See you again. All right, my friends. Love y'all. It's been amazing. Y'all rule. There's BTB. Thanks again. Kansas, MF, Shelly. Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Love y'all. I'll see you. I'm out of here. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Let me know if you need anything from me. All right? See you. Bye.